We've been talking about Vladimir Putin calling it a plot, but perhaps it's more serious when it comes to China and the brother-in-law of President Xi Jinping.
Yeah, particularly at the peak of Xi Jinping's anti-corruption campaign, which people have already been somewhat skeptical about, saying it's more like a way of targeting political opponents. This is terrible news for the Central Committee, but lucky them, they've managed to stamp down on most of the local outlets in China. So the word Panama Papers don't work on your search engine in China anymore. I think
in Hong Kong.
Absolutely, and I think that the really savvy Chinese journalists have their own ways of getting into the net independently of the national service. I think it's hugely embarrassing, and it does actually raise a question that's occurred to me about. I think a third of these 11.5 million documents concern Chinese capital flight in one form or another. Why don't they set up their own offshore operations? Well, there are offshore operations in Asia. They obviously don't trust them because we used to be told, well, you know, if they don't come to Jersey and Guernsey, those are the sort of the tax havens linked to the British government, they'll go off to Malaysia or Singapore or somewhere like that. But it's interesting that the Chinese themselves would rather come to Guernsey and Jersey and Panama than launder their money in Asia. Perhaps they just fear that somehow the secret would get out faster.
Well, it's a question of who do you trust. I mean, one of the things that is so weird is that they trusted the Panamanians. I mean, that really is very strange.
They haven't got a great record for trust.
Because they don't have a great record for that. But the other thing that struck me is that there are some names that came up right in the initial reports, like the King of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Well, he owns all the assets of Saudi Arabia. Who's he hiding the money from? Why is he got... And the only thing, I was talking to friends about this, the only thing we could come up with is it's for that time when maybe he's not the king of Saudi Arabia. He'd like to have a few billion stashed away where nobody knows where it is.
And another case that was very interesting is the case of President of the FIFA, which was named among in the listing. He was considered Mr. Integrity of FIFA. So I'm wondering whether we shouldn't bring back Issa Hayatou to.
Maybe Sepp
But
Blatter.
in his case, he wasn't named directly himself.
but-
He just said he signed a contract with one of the.
Yeah, but that's always the
It's
game,
like
isn't it?
Cameron. I mean, he said he never profited from it, and legally he's not wrong. But nevertheless, politically, in terms of image for that institution, which has gone through a lot last year,